There's going to be the full breakdown of the AI Studio. This is where you will be creating all of your videos. Jumping right in, to start off with, you're going to head over to New Avatar. This is the first thing you need to do when you first set up your account. You can either create a photo avatar or a digital twin. We recommend the digital twin. It's a lot more accurate as far as looks and sounds more like you, but if you want to, you can just upload a photo and get started. So for this example, we're going to do the digital twin. To start off with, click digital twin, hit continue. Here you're going to upload a video of yourself talking to the camera. It doesn't matter what you're saying or what you're doing, just talk as you naturally would, and then upload that 30-second clip here, and then hit create avatar. It's going to take a couple minutes. It's going to mimic your voice, your look, your cadence, your hand motions as you're talking, all of it. You're going to be greeted with this page. This is the consent required for a digital twin. Basically, it's saying that you are creating a digital twin for yourself. For this step, you can either record it on your phone or directly on your computer. I'm going to use my phone, so all you have to do is take a picture of the QR code, hit allow on your phone screen, hit start recording. It's going to count you down and then give you words on screen of what to say. I hit finish recording and then upload footage. On my phone screen, it says the video has been uploaded. As you can see on the computer screen, it is me doing the consent. Now that you've done the consent, it'll just take a couple more seconds and then the avatar will be ready. The consent has been submitted, and now we can go back to the avatars. As you can see here, this is my avatar. I can open up the group, and this is me. You can also delete your avatar in here by hitting delete look. In this area, you can also create more avatars by hitting new avatar up in the top right. Now that you've created your avatar, let's jump into how you will actually make those videos. Starting off in the real estate studio area, we're going to choose property tour. This is for any listings that you or your team members might have to highlight that property. Starting off with the duration, I'm going to select 45 seconds. And then go ahead and fill out the address, price, bedrooms, bathrooms, all the information, the highlights. This is something that you might like about the neighborhood or the surrounding area, or maybe aspects of the property that the listing details have not actually gone over. And then any extra notes, this could be the tone of the AI, the target buyer, must mention details, anything else goes right here. And then at the bottom here, you can choose between curiosity, opinion, and value-based hooks. For this one, I'm going to choose value, and then your avatar position here, so you can either do bottom center, bottom left, or bottom right, or center full. I'm just going to keep it at bottom center, and you can move this around later on in the process. I'm going to select plan for on-screen text overlays. This is going to be that text pop-up you see in most social media videos. They just tell you what the video is actually going to be about. I don't have any extra notes. And then down here is the reference profile. Right now, we don't have any profiles analyzed, but let's say you analyzed your profile or someone who you looked up to in the space. You would select their profile here, and it would write the script in that style. Now that we filled everything out, let's go ahead and hit generate script. And as you can see on the left hand side is your whole script laid out. I'm going to read through it and make sure everything looks okay. You can make any edits that you want to, or add any text in there as well. Once you're happy with your script, you can do auto split. What this does is it takes the script and puts it into smaller chunks at a time. This creates different scenes. So for this, it auto split into 3 different scenes. Personally, I'm going to make it a little bit shorter per scene. So if you want to do that, all you have to do is put the cursor where you want to split it, then hit the split button here up at the top. I'm going to do the same thing for scene 3, and also for scene 5. This leaves me with 6 scenes that now we can go in and choose the background for all of them, and you can split this however many times you would like. The next step is going to be choosing your avatar. So right now we just have the one avatar on this account, so I'm going to choose me. And then bottom center, that's good for it right now. And then right here you can choose your scale of the avatar, and then I have remove avatar background turned on. What this does is it just gets rid of the room around me that you can see here in the image from when I shot the initial video. Next, coming over to the mic, is going to use the default voice, which is the voice that's generated with that digital twin. You can also choose from any other voice from the public library, as well as make your own custom voices. Now moving on to the actual backgrounds that will be in this video. Starting off, we have scene 1 selected over here, so I'm going to upload the first photo. This is just going to be an outside shot showing the whole house. So now, just to clarify, for scene 1, it's just going to be when the avatar is talking about this part right here that I just highlighted. Now if you want to, you can also have the background moving from left to right. If you want to make it a little slower, a little faster, you can. This just creates a little bit more visual interest as your video is playing. Now I'm happy with this. I'm happy with the position of my avatar and the scale of everything. Now I'm going to move to scene 2 and do the same process. So click scene 2 here up at the top, and for this section I'm going to pick the next image. It's talking about 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. So I'm going to pick something that shows that aspect of the script. I'm going to show an image of the primary bedroom. I'm going to turn on pan background and slow it down just a bit, and I'm happy with this. Now the process continues for scenes 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now once you've added the backgrounds for all of your scenes, you're going to move over to the text section here up at the top. Now for scene 1, I want to show some on-screen text, so I'm going to turn this toggle on. And now we're just going to type something here. Now you can either come up with your own on-screen text or use AI hook. It is going to come up with a text for you based off your script. Now I'm going to move this down a little bit, and then I want to add a background. So now this text will show for scene 1, and if I wanted to, I could also add text in any of these other scenes using the same process. Now right here, as you can see, we have captions down at the bottom. If you want to put captions on your video, you can change your font here, the size of your captions, the text color, as well as the background color. So I'm going to put them right above my head. And then the final menu up in the top right is for music. This is where if you have any music that you want to upload to go over your video, you can do that here. Now before I hit render, I'm going to go over just a couple more things. Down here at the bottom, you can also preview your script. So this is going to go and read your script back to you based on the voice you've chosen. This regen button, if you do not like the script that originally created, creates a whole new script. And then you can also import a script directly in here if you've already made one. Now that we've gone over all the tools, I'm going to go ahead and hit render up at the top right. As you can see in the bottom right, it says rendering and hang tight. This will only take about 5 minutes. Of it, you click my videos, and as you can see, it's generating the video. Alright, now as you can see, it says completed here on the my videos tab. Here you can either download it, which will download it directly to your computer. You can delete the video, or if you hit these 3 dots, you can actually remake the video. This will take you back into the studio and you can edit anything that you want to and then regenerate it. Then as you can see, here is the video. You can also preview it on the website. It cut out the background of my avatar and shows everything it's supposed to. Now moving on to the city/local style videos. Here is going to be a very similar process, but just a slightly different style of video. So again, I'm going to do 45 seconds. Lincoln Park, Chicago. This is where you put in some of the highlights about your video topic. So it's close to the beach, near the lakefront trail. It has a free public zoo. It's great for families in a great school district. And then this is where you put more context for the neighborhood if there is. Generally speaking, you're going to put the neighborhood context if you're doing more of a location-based video that's a specific location within a neighborhood. So if it's a pop-up or a grocery store, a restaurant, or a farmer's market, this is where you put the neighborhood that it's in and then talk a little bit more about that neighborhood if you want the script to mention more of the surrounding areas. And then here is where you put the hook style, so reaction, curiosity, opinion, or value. I'm going to choose curiosity. And then the avatar position here. I'm going to plan for on-screen overlays, that on-screen text, and then any extra notes will go here. And then the reference profile. This is after you've analyzed either your profile or people who you look up to in the spaces profiles. You can pick one here, and it's going to make the video in a similar style and kind of based off the analytics of their pages. Now that I have it all set up, I'm going to hit generate script. And then it's going to generate the script and take me into the editing area. Alright, and the same process here on the left is your transcript. You can auto split it or manually split it. I'm going to run the auto splitter. That looks good for me right now. We have 5 different scenes. Now moving over to choosing the avatar. It's me right there. Bottom center is good. We'll make it a little bit smaller actually, and then bring it down. And then remove the background as well. And then it's on default voice, which is what we want. And then moving on to picking the backgrounds. This is the biggest difference between the local based videos versus the actual property tours. If you click this button here, it's going to auto suggest searches for you. And I'm going to do Lincoln Park, Chicago. And as you can see, it's pulling a bunch of images from Lincoln Park, Chicago. So let's choose this one for the first one. And then we can make the background pan just like that. Now for scene 2, and then for this one I'm going to show you that you can also do video. So up here you can select video. We're going to search Lincoln Park, Chicago once again, and then we're going to scroll down till we find something that we like. This shows off the lake, so let's do that one. And then one tool or setting to note here at the top, when the clip ends, you can either have it freeze or loop. So if it's a very short clip, maybe 3 seconds long, and you have a little bit longer of text that's going to happen, you can choose whether it's going to loop through the clip again before moving on to the next scene, or just freeze on that last frame. And then you'll just continue this process on for the rest of the remaining 3 scenes until you have all the backgrounds picked out. Alright, now once you have selected all of the backgrounds, you can move over to your text, on-screen text again. I'm going to have the text for scene 1 on, and we're just going to put the biggest reason to move to Lincoln Park, Chicago. And then let's add a background. So again, you can change your font, your size, the weight of the font, the alignment, the text color, the background, and the opacity of the background. Next is the captions. You can customize these to your liking here with the settings, and I have this toggled on. I just put it right above my head. And then the final menu up at the top right is uploading your music. Now this video is good to go, I'm going to go ahead and hit render. Now that's going to wrap up the entire AI Studio section between the real estate studio, the my videos, my avatars, or creating a new avatar. This is going to be the breakdown video for the AI chat section of Sandman. If you're starting off with a new account, before you go into the AI chat, you're going to need to select New Analysis. Here you can either choose your profile or someone who you look up to in this space, their profile to analyze. It's going to look at 150 data points per video, and all of your chats are going to be based off of this data set. So you can choose a platform. I'm going to do Instagram Reels. We're just going to do 15 videos for this demonstration, but we recommend at least 30 videos to pick up true patterns on the account. And then all you have to do is paste in the profile URL, not a video URL, but the actual profile URL. And if you have any special notes, put them here, and then submit request. This is just saying you're going to have 5 minutes to edit that request before it actually gets sent to the system and starts analyzing. So I'm going to hit confirm. And then this will take about 15 minutes. Generally speaking, it's about 1 minute per video. Here on the main dashboard, as I mentioned, you are actually able to edit the request if you'd like. So all you have to do is hit the edit button, change any of the details, and then hit update request. Once it gets past pending and it actually starts analyzing, you'll be able to see the progress of your videos analyzed here on this page. Now that we have 2 profiles analyzed, we can go into the AI chat section of Sandman. It's laid out very similar to ChatGPT or Claude. On the left, you'll have all of your history for your different chats. In the middle is the actual active chat section. And then on the right where it says select profiles is where you select which profiles that you've analyzed are in the context of the chat. So whether it's your profile or someone you look up to in a space, you can select up to 3 at a time. So all you have to do is select the little box that puts it into context, and then you can ask a question such as, what is the top performing video based on views? And then as you can see here, it'll pull up a little bit about the reel. You could continue asking a question such as, why did this video perform? How can I recreate this? So on and so forth. The next tool inside of this AI chat section is going to be the workflows. There's 4 different workflows at the moment, with more coming soon. The profile performance overview. This goes through your profile or someone else's profile, figures out what's working and what's not working, and then gives you some tips of what you should keep doing. The multi-creator comparison is going to compare your profile with someone else's profile that you also have in the context of the chat. And then the recent versus top performing is going to compare some of your recent posts to your older posts and see if you've been improving or if your numbers have been dropping off. And then there is the 30-day content strategy plan. This creates a strategy based on what's working for your page or someone else's page of what you should post over the next 30 days. And then right next to it is the batch script generator. This is for creating up to 10 scripts at a time based off of one idea, and this is voice matched with whoever you have in the context of the chat currently. So all you have to do is put in your video ideas or what you want to talk about for these videos. So I'm going to do best neighborhoods to live in Chicago during the summer. That's going to be my idea. And then I want to do 3 videos. And then in this advanced section, you can actually choose for each script what the idea is, and then you can choose the length as well for each of those. So I'm going to go ahead and hit generate 3 scripts, and then as you can see here, it's going to write out all 3 as you can see here, and then up here at the top is the hook, and then below it is the body of it. If you want to regenerate one script, you select this button at the top right hand corner. You can download all of them into a CSV file, which is an Excel spreadsheet type of file. You can also do regen all if you happen to not like any of them. Then the save button here is grayed out because it saves it automatically, but if you make any changes to the scripts, then you have to click save up here at the top, and this will actually go into a database that you can access because these scripts can then be fed into the AI Studio. That is what this button here does. Now it'll take you to the AI editor with a script already in there. This just creates a very easy flow for batch making videos and batch scripting videos. Final button at the bottom of the chat here. This is where you can upload documents such as PDFs as extra reference for the chat. Another feature that you have under this section is the option to turn on web search. This does exactly like what it sounds like. It makes it so the chat actually has access to the internet. However, you cannot have profiles in context and have web search on. It's one or the other. There's the breakdown for the analytics section for Sandman. So right here, you go into it and you can put your Instagram profile or your TikTok profile. I'm going to use one of my clients' username, and then all you have to do is hit add profile. Then it's going to fetch all of the normal analytics such as followers and views, and it's going to actually track this month over month so you can see your progress without having to actually go into the Instagram app. This profiles page is just to view the profiles that you've actually put into the system to see which ones you're tracking. You're allowed up to 5 different profiles for tracking analytics, so it's good for you and any of your other team members. As you can see, it's already fetched the Chicago Xander stats, so 39,000 followers, 740 posts. And if we come into analytics, it breaks it down a little bit more and it actually shows you charts on all of the analytics as well. Then each month, it will create monthly reports. So this is perfect to just see your whole month in a glance. It'll put it right here on the reports tab. This is the breakdown for the trends section here in Sandman. So selecting on this, we have first location-based trends tab here at the top. What this is going to do is you'll select a location. So for me, I'm doing Chicago, Illinois, and then get topics. This is now going to pull topics that are related to recent Chicago news. No surprise here, Chicago mayor drama. Let's select this one. Now it's going to search the internet. This is going to help you come up with different video ideas that revolve around something that's happening now in your location. This is important that as a real estate agent, you shouldn't just be posting your listings, you should also be posting about the neighborhood or city that you live in. As you can see here, it has now come up with 8 different ideas, the hook and then a brief description of what the video would be about, as well as the link to where it got the information so you can do more research if you'd like. You can also see what's trending on TikTok right now. This is just pulling what's the most trending hashtags over the last 30 days. This is also used for video ideation. It's bringing up current topics that you could put onto your account if it fits, and then it's more likely to go viral because it's currently trending. That's the full breakdown for the Trends tab here on Sandman. And then the final section inside of Sandman is going to be the doc store up here at the top right. This is where all the PDFs that you uploaded in different chats will live. You can also upload PDFs directly into your doc store. And then here's where you access all of the batch scripts that you've created. So let's say you've made 3 scripts and you only sent one to the AI Studio and you want to come back and create the videos for the other 2. You would come into doc store, then scripts, and then you just click right here and it will load up the 3 scripts that you created before. And then all you'd have to do is click the send to AI Studio editor button, and then that will take it directly into the AI editor for you to create the video. That wraps up the breakdown for all the different features and pages on Sandman. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and we'll be happy to answer them.